Okay, we're going to take a deep dive into JavaScript's new keyword and what it does in conjunction with constructor functions. So here we have our own personal constructor function, and here we have an instance, fill, calling the constructor person. Now, I didn't use the new keyword, we get undefined. Why is that? Because if I don't use the new keyword, I'm calling this as a regular function, and since I'm not returning anything, it returns undefined. If I return 5, we get 5. Now, if I put in the new keyword, we're going to get a new instance of the object, right? And then if you do fill the constructor, you're going to see that it's equal to its constructor function, right? If we try to check the prototype of fill, you're going to see that it's always equal to the constructor's dot prototype property, like this, okay? This is the same for every array or object or string you create also. Okay, so now what happens if we, let's say right here, we return 5? We still get this object. Right now, a lot of people think that when you call the new keyword, your return statement inside of your constructor function is ignored, but that's actually not true. Let's say if I have let globals be true, and then I'm gonna return globals is false. And now on the right, if I check the value of globals, you see that it actually ran, right? So this ran, and then it changed the value to false. Now, but how come this still works? How come we still get a new instance? Well, because in a function constructor, if you return anything else besides an object, it just takes away the return statement like this, and then it's going to return, and then it's going to call an internal function. I'll call this new keyword func, and then it's going to pass in all of these names and values, and we're going to write that function soon. Okay, but if for some reason inside of your constructor you return an object, right? Now, even if you create an instance with the keyword new, you're going to get the object. So let's say if I give this a name, blah, 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 you're going to get that. Okay. So this is why people always say, never have a return statement inside of your constructor functions, or else it'll mess up your new keyword usage, but it won't give you any error, right? So we need to take that away. Now, our goal is, can we write our own functionality or our own polyfill for the new keyword? Okay. So I wanted, when I do this without the new keyword, we still get what we got with the new keyword. Okay. Let's see how we can do that. Okay. So internally in JavaScript, when it sees the new keyword, it goes in your constructor function and it checks, hey, are there any properties names attached to the this? And then it's going to do something like const keys, and it's going to put name, age, and job as strings. Okay. Now, I know I did it literally here, but with some smart rejects, you can actually get these name, age, and job, and whatever else into an array. But I don't want to walk through that rejects right now. Okay. Okay. So now it's going to return a new function that we're going to define. New keyword function is going to pass in the keys, and then it's going to pass in the name, the age value, and the job value. Okay. All right. So now we're going to define our function new keyword func, and we're going to use the spread operators, spread in our args. Okay. All right. Now let's console.log args. Let's see what we see. So the first argument, we have an array, right, which includes name, age, and job, right? And then if we open this up, these are the key names. Okay, so we can do const key names down here will be args at 0. Okay, and then we can do const values will be equal to args dot slice from index 1 to the end, because index 0 are just the key names. Okay, now we can just do a regular for loop for let I equal to 0, and we're going to run this loop as long as I is less than. You can do values.length, or you can even do key names.length, because the number of keys and the number of values will always match. So it really doesn't matter. But I like to use values. Okay. Okay. Now it's going to create, let's do const new instance. It creates a new object like this. Okay. And then what it does in the loop, it will do new instance at key names at I, right? And then it will set that property equal to the values at I. Okay. So then after this for loop is done, our new instance object is populated with these key value pairs, right? So then we can do console.log new instance. Right. Oh, unexpected on line 18. Oh, I forgot to do the I++. Whoops, I'm terrible at this. Okay, so now we see that we get this object right here, but we still need to do a few more things, okay? We need to point the constructor property of this new instance to its constructor, okay? So we can do new instance dot constructor will be equal to what? Person right here. Now, we also need to set new instances prototype to person.prototype. There's two ways you can do this. One, you can do it the old way, new instance._proto is equal to person.prototype. Okay, so now let me take away this console.log, and then let's return new instance. Okay, so now if you do fill.constructor is strictly equal to person, that's true. Just like when we had the new keyword, right? And you can also do fill.__proto. Is it equal to person.prototype? You're going to see that that's true also. Now in ES6, instead of this, you can also do capital object constructor dot set prototype of. Okay? And then you can set the prototype of the new instance, right, to person.prototype, like this. All right. And now if you check, this is still true. Okay, so this is just the ES6 way of doing it. Cool, right? Okay, now previously the JavaScript's new keyword function was able to detect, hey, if we return an object in here, it's not going to create a new instance, but it's going to return that same object. So how do we take care of that case? So to be the easiest way, let's say on the constructor, we return this object, we expect to get an empty object. Okay, so I'm going to do something like const constructor returned obj, and this will be equal to, it's going to try to find it in the argument. So it's going to be equal to args, which is an array because we use the spread operator, args.find, and then what are we finding? We're finding the value where if we stringify the value, right? So let's go on the left. If I do const a is equal to an object, and I call string a, I get the string object. And I think this is the easiest way to check for objects. Check for triple equals that. Okay, now, if it can't find any of this, this variable will return undefined. Okay, if it can find that, it will return the object itself. So now you can just do if constructor return obj is true feed, then return the constructor obj. Okay, see? So now we get this name, blah, 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 empty, right? Even if we put this in the middle with a comma and delete this, we still get that. Okay? So that's how the new keyword works with the polyfill. And remember, this is just about 75 to 80% of how the new keyword works. There's a lot more things that's going on internally that I'm not sure how to cover.